Hello everybody. This is part one of our third video, which is, for lack of a better term, a cartooning, comic penciling tutorial. Just tips really about my method, which is a little unorthodox, sort of from the street up. A lot of trial and error, and it's pretty non-mechanical and loose. It's for people who just sort of want to begin to draw and cartoon and express their ideas immediately. And there is an entire universe of mechanical, technical, quantifiable methods and steps and laws and rules that apply to this art form that can take you a lifetime to master. And what I've found that in cartooning, it's such an organic, such a very personal thing that I've been able to show people how they can begin to immediately find their own style using some very natural, I hate to use the term ergonomic, but just a very natural method of transposing your thoughts and concepts and ideas onto the page. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. And in addition to the big difference with this one, aside from being hopefully more concise, is we're going with a softer lead. This is an F pencil. It's not very fancy. It's a Ticonderoga, but I find that it's right in that beautiful area where you can get away with doing very, very light work, and you can get pretty dark with the F pencil, and it doesn't smear, and it's a lot cleaner than the softer leads. That being said, what we're doing here is our third campaign, which is the campaign number 3, Supreme Sanity. And as we flesh it out, you'll be able to see what the subject matter of the narrative is. And again, it's very light-hearted social commentary. It's not meant to insult anybody. It's just meant to sort of, tweak your brain a little bit. So I'm working from a preliminary sketch, which is here. I don't know if you can see that well. Can't really see where that camera is. Mm-hmm. And it's just really rough, and I start with prelims like this, and I don't get too hard on myself about getting everything perfect. I just sort of get it down. I don't really worry about composition too much. It's just the concept and the idea. And you can see here I have to move the hand. I need to highlight this page a little better. I want to see the thumb. I want to make sure that we can see the spittle coming out of the orifice. And so that's just a really basic idea. Prelims are super, super critical. Scrap paper, copy paper, notebook paper, anything. And you can use stuff as simple, and you'll see this over and over and over again. It certainly isn't mine, but just a basic stick figure to express any idea is fine. And starting with this, there is a deceptively huge amount of information in that very, very simple sketch. It's very clean, it's very organized. What I do with stuff like this is just, probably because I'm slightly mad, is I do more of a very figure drawing gestural approach. So I'll take something like this and I'll just try to capture the energy like this. And it's a little looser and a little more organic, and I guess to most sane people it just looks like scribble, but to me that's the gesture and the energy and the personality of that character. And in my mind, he's just sort of standing, looking at something with a degree of anticipation. That being said, let's get to it. And I'm hoping you can see this. I'm making these a lot darker than they should be for this phase. This should be super, super light. And you probably can't see it from there, but if I come in a little closer, you can probably see it better. This is too dark, so please keep that in mind. You want to keep these initial blocking and shapes and gesture drawings really, really just as light as you possibly can, because ultimately you want to get rid of them. So back to where we were. This large shape here, sort of the skull, and we kind of have this large shape here, which is the shoulder. Axial lines, lateral lines. just real loose. I'm not even worried about anything that has anything remotely to do with aesthetics. I'm just getting the idea onto the page. And anybody can do that. It can, if you can look at clouds and see shapes and designs and faces and animals in clouds, you can do this. And you can see here we have a caption, Supreme Sanity. And I'm just going to block in where that goes. Up here we have thievesofeden.com, where I invite you to come check us out. Leave as many comments as you want. Join the blog site. And this is the spin-off of Thieves of Eden, which is the reality hole. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube and on the website to explain what exactly that is. And my caption is probably going to go in this area. And I should, out of the sake of fairness, I do a lot of, when I publish these, I do a lot of it in Illustrator and Photoshop. So if I don't like something and it doesn't look right, I can always go back and change it. But oddly enough, that sort of Morpheus sketch is loaded with all the information I need to begin my process to a finished page. This is the prelim, which looks like a better drawing, but it isn't. There are a lot of problems with this, which I've already corrected here. And I'll show you how in the second installment. And just as a closer, an example of one of our finished pieces is this cover here. This was the first campaign. And it's Free Congress from Forced Prostitution. And it's redundant for a reason, I think, according to the author. But this, you know, it's clean. It's you know, for me, this is a fully published page, and that's where we go. So next time, we'll show you how to go from this to this. Thank you, and come check us out at thievesofeden.com.